Fucking do it. Alright. If I had 1 KR for every single time someone has asked me, Streamer, how do you run so fast? I would have every item in this motherfucking game by now. So I'm going to show you everything that has to do with movement. Let's go ahead and get started. So in this video, we're going to be doing an in-depth crash course on movement in Krunker. We're going to be touching on aspects such as strafing, keybinds, B-hopping as compared to slide hopping, turns, 180s, strats that you can use with movement, differences between FPS, and other smaller yet still important aspects. Alright, so the first thing that we're going to be talking about is strafe speed. When I say strafe speed, I'm referring to moving in a diagonal fashion. Now, what many of you new players might not know or have yet to discover is that strafing, such as holding WA or WD, is actually faster than just holding W. Now, whiffs on the left will be strafing, while hollow on the right will just be moving straight. From what we can see, strafing is rewarded with faster movement speed. Moving over to keybinds, I highly recommend that you keep crouch on shift, not something weird such as F. Doing so will allow you to fully access your full potential of movement in Krunker. On a side note, I do recommend that you move knife over to one of your mouse buttons for ease of access. Now, the first form of B-hopping we're going to be looking at is normal jumping or normal B-hopping. While this is faster than just walking around the map, it's not going to be ideal when going up against more skilled players. The next and more ideal form of movement I want to look at is called slide hopping. This is done by crouching mid-jump, inducing a slide upon landing, and jumping before that slide is completed. Keep in mind that the later in the jump you crouch, the faster your resulting movement will be. For turning when slide hopping, you're going to want to angle yourself towards the inside of the turn. This also applies itself for what keys you're pressing when you're turning. So when you're turning left, you're going to want to press WD. When you're turning right, you're going to want to press WA. With high enough FPS, and depending on the severity of the turn, and if this is done correctly, it can induce a slingshot-like effect where your player is nearly rocketed forward. For players with lower FPS, you probably notice that if you try and slide hop, you're probably running into a lot of things. This is because with lower FPS, you're not going to be able to gain as much traction when slide hopping. The only way to fix this is to look more into your turns and hold shift for just a little bit longer so you can try and get that turn off. Keep in mind you won't be able to go as fast as those people who do have high FPS. Next up is 180s. A lot of the times, if you do have good enough FPS, you can completely 180 while keeping your momentum. This can be done one of two ways. For clean 180s, you could just hold W and turn your mouse as quick as possible in order to get that 180 off. Or if you want to strafe when doing it, just keep in mind whichever way you're turning, for that 180 you want to hold the corresponding keys such as WD or WA. Earlier in the video, I did recommend moving your melee keybind over to one of your mouse buttons. The reason for doing so is ease of access. When holding your knife, you actually gain increased movement speed and jump height. However, if you are playing a class such as the revolver or the SMG, you already have that increased movement speed and jump height, so it will not affect it. Getting into going up and down ramps, when traversing up, you're going to want to hold shift for longer, even if it means going over the top lip of the ramp. When going down, if you're landing just before the tip of the ramp, you're going to want to hold shift very quickly and then hold shift again at the bottom. If you're landing on or with plenty of time to spare before the ramp, you could just jump and continue on with slide hopping. Putting all these things together, there are strategies that you can use to confuse people in game with slide hopping. One of my favorites is to slide hop towards a person and then reverse direction at their location, causing them to think that you've passed them when meanwhile you are still in front of them. Another thing you could do, and with good enough FPS, is constantly slide hop through or around someone in a quick enough manner in order to confuse them, and if they are new enough to the game, this could lead to them ultimately hitting Alt F4. But anyways guys, thank you guys for watching, appreciate you guys sticking around. Big shout out to Waspy, Wisp, and Hollow for tipping me in a few customs to help me make this video. Make sure you guys check out my Twitch. It will be linked in the description below, as well as my Discord, Twitter, Instagram, as well as the links to the songs that I used in this video. Thank you guys again for watching, and I will catch you next time.